I had a dream once where Faye was walking, and he was still walking. Maybe it was all just a dream. Hi, Flex. If you care to join me, I am down in the VC. Which is usually where I am whenever I'm streaming. It's a nice thing, man. Hi. Hello?
Your final mistake. It's 1453. Time to take Constantinople.
Oh boy. Why are you looking at your phone? Hello? Hello? Flax? He's dead. Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Discord had the wrong audio devices selected. Fucking stupid ass program. Anyway, you're finally awake. It's 1453. We're gonna go take Constantinople.
Oh man, I've been waiting for this. Remember, Ottoman cannons can't melt Theodosian walls. 1453 was an inside job. Did you already know that I was still walking, or were you not aware of that? Because I know M wasn't aware.
I've been in a couple of your streams before.
Oh, I forgot. Like M didn't realize I was walking.
I even pay attention to your silly game that I don't have downloaded.
Hey, that's fine. Yeah, because you saw my stupid announcement.
It's okay, if you ever set up a Patreon, I'll support you.
Yeah, maybe I should set up a Patreon. So I get a minuscule amount of money from 2 people.
No. If you make a Patreon, we can have another exclusive channel in the Discord.
Oh boy. Now we're fucking talking. Yeah, because I fucking put the
We haven't made any new clubs in a while.
The Patreon club.
Welcome to our club. Welcome to our club.
Welcome Squidward, welcome Squidward, welcome Squidward, welcome Squidward, welcome Squidward, welcome Squidward, welcome Squidward. No, I was doing the dirt textures because I had other textures. And I was like, these are not good. And so I spent, I think, just a few hours just making that last night. That was mostly what I did. The other thing I did was I set up the textures to be used in the code, and that was about it. I ended up accidentally making like a decent, because I made like the barren soil texture initially, and then I was like, I don't know if I really like this because it looked too light. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then when I was making the low fertility texture, which ended up becoming the barren soil, I was like, oh, I actually really like this. So then I was like, fuck it, I made like 3 copies of it, and I just made it darker each time. That's how I did that.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that's like not the same texture with different shading is the high fertility. That's like, it's more noisy because it's meant to be like more like a fine soil. Because like black soils are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with the way that looks though. It looks edible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and I have the next thing I have to do is think about a certain thing that I'm trying to implement for a different.
I ventured out into the outside world today. Scary, I know.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Anyway.
Why would you do that to yourself?
It's like a jazz festival happening a few towns away. I wanted to go check it out. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. Is jazz like a big thing in New Jersey?
I don't know, honestly, but they were advertising it, and it's free, so figured I could check it out. And they had like a high school jazz band playing, which was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Very talented kids.
Wait, since I talked about you, if you knew that I was on my bullshit again, as Argard says, were you aware that Ant Venom like dropped in on like I think my second stream?
No.
Yeah, it was just me, and he pops in the chat, and all I see is Fig. What the fuck?
Is an appropriate reaction.
Yeah. I think Arker gave me the same reactions in DMs. Fuck. Hang on. Let me find the exact wording because we had like a very funny conversation regarding that. Hang on.
Yeah, while I was outside, I found a record shop, and they were selling a boxed collection of the Beatles' discography for $700, which, I don't know, it's a bit too steep for me, but it is pretty cool that they have, like, the whole collection of all of the Beatles albums.
Jeez.
It's 14 albums.
Oh, yeah. So Arker goes, it was on the 19th lesson. He goes, Fig, what the fuck, dude? And says, I said, what? You gotta give clarifying information. He says, you know damn well what you're up to or down to be more accurate.
Fig, what the fuck? That could be your next stream title.
I think it's funny. Did I ever else? I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself because I do forget things a lot. Did I ever show you like all the changes I made with the Farlands mod?
If you've talked about it before, I don't remember it, and I probably won't remember it after tomorrow.
Fair enough. Does this menu look familiar to you? Probably not.
I think I've seen it before, but I don't know what all those buttons do.
Well, I have a button to toggle the world jitter on and off. I have a button to toggle the percentage tracker in the corner there.
Yeah.
It's very funny too because I made 4 redundant buttons for the tracker. Because you have each of the corner or each of the edge Farlands, right? And those are
Yeah.
easy to calculate. It's just, all right, what's your X position or Z position against like that absolute value? And then for the quarter is a little bit different because you have to track like your absolute position in the world. And so what I did was I just did the Pythagorean theorem to get the actual distance the player is from the origin, and then divided it by the distance to the quarter Farlands diagonally. However, I repeated. However, all 4 of those like things, all 4 of the quarters have the same calculation, so it's redundant. So I'm just gonna compress that down to just being quarter.
Yeah.
I activated an unused watercolorizer that's in the source code. So it shipped with a watercolor image, and then it never got fully set up to be used. So the water is colored based on the biomes. I ported the seasonal codes shit that I have, so I have one for Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere. So I set it to Australia mode. This is what it looks like in the springtime.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kind of looking like it's like very what's the word? Yellow. You can turn the lagometer on and off. The watercolorizer. The coordinates are more readable. So they get truncated and then they have the what is it? The commas.
Yeah.
I put in a fix for there's a button to toggle the falling sand, like if it duplicates. There's a button to toggle the wolf teleport fix because wolves will take damage when they teleport.
Yeah.
Which is how I got the Perchie calendar.
Can't believe we're already 4% there.
It's not that bad. I just finished the building project of the spawn chunks.
Oh, yeah. 500k is when the jitter starts to become noticeable, right? Like 524 something?
524, 288. I quite literally started at the spawn chunks and left from there when I started.
Yeah.
I don't know if I explained that, but I'm going to do build projects in each spawn chunk. So
Every time you reach the spawn chunks, you build a new house there.
Exactly. Now, I did a tower in one of the corners. So the next spawn chunk, I'll do another tower until I've got 4 towers, and then I'm gonna build walls between them to like make the spawn chunks into a big fucking castle. You're definitely right though with the jitter. It's noticeable even at 262, 144. Like when you're going diagonally. Because if you're going like this, it's not really that noticeable when you're going straight on. But
Yeah.
It's very noticeable when you're going diagonally. Which I definitely remember from the first walk.
I don't know about you, but I think the jitter felt more intense like the first time, especially around 4 and 8 million, because Kurt hadn't reached that point yet, and we didn't really know what to expect. Now it's like we know what to expect, and it doesn't feel as like amazing anymore.
Yeah, it's less impactful now, which I mean makes sense if you've done it once and you've
Yeah.
already experienced it. It's like the first time we discovered the spawn chunks. Like
Now we know the science of the far lands. Back then it was all uncharted territory.
yeah, it was very exciting when Kurt first noticed the jitter. Like very early on. I'm the kind of person though to want my coordinates up, and also because I'm walking to the corner, I kind of have to have the coordinates up. Because you remember that I didn't use the coordinates until like I turned them on and I was like 100,000 blocks drifted.
Yeah.
Which is actually, which we missed the first spawn chunk at 524, 288 on the first walk because of that. Because someone had recorded all the spawn chunk instances that people have found and they noted that online. I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
Because the first one we saw would have been 1,048,000, but I don't think we noticed that anything was wrong with the chunks. And then I remember that we found spawn chunks, I think, on the in between 1 million and 2 million, just out of nowhere. Because I went over a hill and there was just a fucking gap.
Yeah.
So I remember that. What else? Oh yeah, I remember when we got to 2 million, we realized like what was going on there because like we saw the fucking monument pop up again.
Yeah.
That was a good time. Yeah, because now like, I know what to expect. It's like, oh cool, I've reached the next like jitter point, and it's like, alright, whatever. I am glad though that I have the ability to turn on and off the jitter because it's less annoying to build like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I'm probably gonna do is when I get into the far lands, I'm gonna like turn off the jitter until I pass like each point just to see how bad it is. Because after 16.7 million, it's fucking like unbearable.
Wasn't there like a falling sand bug or something? Are you using a mod that fixes that, or?
Yep. If you notice, falling sand fix on.
Oh yeah. There's a button for that.
There's a button for that. It's actually fairly easy to change. Because I understand like what causes the bug.
Yeah.
If you were curious, it's obviously flow precision related. When he spawns the falling, when the falling sand entity spawns in the code, it's an entity, so its position is a double. But it takes the block coordinates of the block that it spawned from and adds 0.5 float.
Epic.
Yeah, amazing. Do you see the issue there? It keeps it at the integer value and then that causes the issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same reason why the wolves also damage when they teleport. So the fix was exactly the same. It's just, alright, remove the F from that, because if you don't have F there to mark it as float, job implicitly treats it as double. Fun fact. You can specify D if you want to for double.
Yeah.
I really do like the watercolorizer though. It's a nice touch. It's like this is like a dark blue. Oh yeah, did I tell you that I fucking realized that I was using the modern grass texture the entire time on the previous walk?
You were using the modern grass texture in beta? What a fake.
Well, I didn't even realize it until like Well, so like now I've played enough beta Minecraft that I'm used to the grass texture.
Mhm.
And so when I started this up, I was like, huh, the grass looks different. I was like, wait a minute. And so then I like opened the texture pack up, and then I like disabled it, and then re-enabled it. I was like, oh, this is straight up the wrong texture. Which I don't think
Yeah.
Shovel realized when she made it. And
Yeah.
it's very funny looking at it because the top grass texture matches modern Minecraft, but the side grass texture matches beta Minecraft. So it
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, now I can see it. So I changed it back to be the beta grass texture. What else did I alter there? I fixed the crosshair in that as well because I think the crosshair in that pack is like it's like broken up in the center, and I was like, I
Yeah.
don't really like that. What other dumb things did I change there? I didn't change anything else. The main reason I have
Panicoic
this
made a
is
new video
because-
today. Every Yoshi glitch in Super Mario 64.
Panicoic? Ooh.
Yeah.
It's always amazing whenever they find something new for the A button challenge. Yeah,
Panicoic has been back to commentated videos for a while.
I like his commentated videos.
I have to say, I think my favorite is his 4-hour essay on invisible walls.
I watched that whole thing.
Nobody ever thought invisible walls could be so complicated until Panicoic explained everything. But I respect his dedication to the science.
What is nice though is that like having done a bunch of game programming, I kind of understood what he was talking about with how the
Yeah.
walls function. I was like, oh, I get this. It's like incredibly.
Yeah. and
It's easy to understand.
he had
but
to
there's
talk a lot about floats and precision when he was trying to crash the game with a pendulum.
Oh yeah, didn't he get it up to infinity? Isn't that what happened?
I didn't get it up to infinity.
Oh,
The goal was to get the pendulum's I forget if it was the velocity or the position or what, but the goal was to get the pendulum up to like 2 billion or so that the float to integer conversion fails because it would overflow.
oh, because
And at that point it crashes the game.
So it
And it only
converts
takes
into a sine.
39 days of manipulating the pendulum.
Oh, because it converts it to a fucking sine integer.
Yeah. The position is, I think it's the position of the pendulum is like originally stored as a float, but at some point in the code base it converts it to an integer.
Why? Did they have to do that for the rendering?
Yeah, I think they do that for the rendering.
Oh, did they use integers for rendering?
I honestly don't know off the top of my head, but I think so.
Yeah, it's for because like pretty much everything rendering nowadays is float.
It's like even like 1 unit in Super Mario 64 is pretty small. It's like about 1 pixel-ish, depending on the exact camera angle.
Isn't it like a signed 16-bit short or 16-bit integer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 32. I thought it was like it's smaller than that.
Technically, Mario's real position is stored as a float, but Mario's floor detection position is a signed integer. That's why parallel universes exist.
Right, because the floor detection planes wrap. Or
Yeah.
even. Yeah,
It's like
okay.
a little shortcut they did to save computing power.
I think they probably did that. Well, yeah, it's easier to do bitwise operations on. Well, you can't really do bitwise operations on floats.
Yeah.
So they did that, I think, to do bitwise operations on the sign integer.
Yeah.
The downside is that you have way less like position space. And I guess you also get the added benefit of that conversion saving 16 bits,
Yeah.
which is not insignificant. It's like half of a float. Because remember, if you like give like texture to the parallel universes, you can see like the float courses becoming worse for Mario.
Yeah, since Super Mario 64 was released, we've gotten like 30 years of computing knowledge and compiler optimizations, so now you can make like a modern version of Super Mario 64 that runs way more efficiently, even on original hardware. But Back then, Nintendo was working with what they had.
Yeah, didn't they like compile it with, like without optimization flags? Which is
Yeah.
why Dire Docs is awful.
Yeah.
I watched a video from fucking what's his name? Kaze Emanuar.
Yeah, K's Emanuar.
Yeah, it was about like the discs and the difference between them and the cartridges and why the cartridges were better. Solely because the cartridges are solid state, but they can their load times are much faster than a disc. Solid state reigns supreme. That's why solid state drives are better for any kind of gaming for the most part.
Yeah.
Because your read and write speeds will be way better on for that. Yeah, they wrote Mario 64 in C++, didn't they?
Oh, it was just C.
They wrote it in C?
Yeah.
I thought it was C++. It must be misremembered.
No.
I only have a 2 1 terabyte. I have an M1 2. I'm trying to understand what that means. An M2 1 terabyte. Wait, no, 2 terabyte. You have 2 terabytes. I got a 2 terabyte hard disk drive. That's where like my Steam games sit.
Yeah,
Really, I thought it was in.
my computer that I'm using now has a 2 terabyte solid state drive, and
I really wish that
my old computer, which crapped itself a couple of months ago, it had an 8 terabyte just standard hard drive, and I was able to fish that out of the computer and save it.
Oh, that's nice. I really wish that I had a 2 terabyte solid state. Though, with the prices are right now, you can't fucking buy shit.
And then I found a hard drive docking station on Amazon that I can use to just plug it in through USB.
Wait, hang on. I got a fucking meme to send you. That's, I guess, programming related. I fucking love this.
Nice. It's fucking awesome.
The fucking bottom kills me. It's like, why are we doing this?
That bottom one is totally something like Claude would generate.
Yeah, I've had robots generate me code before, and it's like, okay, we're not doing this weird fucking abstraction pattern. I'm just gonna do it in the simpler way. Fuck you, robot.
Claude is good, it's powerful, but it also loves to way overcomplicate what you asked for.
Yeah, you don't need to. Fuck, that's like one thing I dislike seeing, like, from, like, things like this. Like, you don't need to abstract literally fucking everything. Which...
Forget reinventing the wheel, I'm gonna reinvent steel.
Yeah, but that's actually an extension of abstract metal.
Yeah. I'm gonna reinvent the fucking periodic table.
It implements iAlloy.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ. The only time
I'm
that
gonna tell Claude to find the island of stability and make no mistakes.
Yeah, generate me a game, make no mistakes. The only time that I, like, abstract stuff is, like, when I've made, like, two things that are, or two classes that are, like, identical in their function. And that would make sense to, like, abstract out. Like, for example, I had, a bunch of different, like, state type objects for blocks in my game. Like, for example, the campfires and pit kilns. Because it made sense to have additional state information for them.
Yeah.
And then I had duplicate copies in the world and chunk classes to, like, retrieve, get them, and delete them, and add them. Mm-hmm. And it was for each different type, and I was like, alright, this is getting stupid. So I also had, like, 8 concurrent hash maps in each chunk for each type. So I made them into a single type. And, it's just a object that has multiple hash maps depending on what's stored there, and then if I need to get one of them, I just retrieve it utilizing like a constant to pull the key out from the map. So I went from like 30 different methods down to like 4. But it was like that makes sense to abstract though. Not fucking whatever the hell that was reading there. Also, Google search tells me that you were in fact correct. It was written in C. I thought it was the other one. Oh yeah, I forgot to use MIPS assembly language. Forgot that's where MIPS comes from. Dang, I had no idea that it was written in C. So they did all the fucking rendering stuff like from scratch in C.
Yeah, the original Super Mario Bros. Was just written in assembly, and they had to fit everything into 32K.
That's a lot of stuff. Assembly's not hard to read. It's readable. You just gotta like learn it.
In order to fit everything into such a small space, they had to do a lot of reused textures. Like clouds and bushes in the original Super Mario Bros. Are just the same texture.
Recolored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. They have to do that with a lot of things, don't they? Wasn't it also in a sprite sheet?
Yeah. And right now, the world's most epic Super Mario gamers are trying to get like the best possible time in Super Mario Bros. Because apparently that's a thing they can do now.
Oh yeah, they think they're 4 frames away from the perfect run.
Yeah.
What happens whenever it's like done is like, is that game just over?
There's still the Warpless category, and then I guess there's other games.
This is like it's like the life cycle of the speedrunning community, and we're like nearing the end of that one. Because once it's been beaten,
Yeah, Super Mario Bros. It's kind of unique in that it's like a simple enough game where the perfect run is actually known. For something more complicated, like Super Mario Galaxy, we don't really know what the perfect run is. There's always new stuff being found.
Yeah, different kinds of exploits.
Or like
routing.
another speedrun I follow is a new Super Mario Bros. Wii 100%.
Oh god.
Technically, the most recent publicly released tool-assisted speedrun is from like 10 years ago, and it's slower than the current real-time record. But the best tool-assisted speedrunners, they've been working on a new one, and I think they're at like 25 minutes faster than the old one right now.
Holy shit, that's like a significant gap.
Yeah. They went from like 3 hours to 2 hours 35.
I see. Like the only thing that I would see like for the Mario Bros. Speedrunning community is like if individual people want to increase their own time. But like once somebody's gotten the perfect run, the only time that anybody else is gonna want to do that isn't to break it; it's just to achieve it themselves.
Yeah.
Because that's the ceiling. Which is interesting. I don't know of any other games that have had that happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do like that because of people's. I do like that a lot of people are like figuring out are contributing together for the A Press challenge.
Oh yeah, the A button challenge. They're still working on that.
It's like, oh, what are you doing in your free time? Are you contributing to something like societally useful? Like, no, I figured out how to make Mario 64, but without the A button.
Yeah, the Mario 64 A button challenge community, they've been working on that. They're still going.
That's a lot of different skill sets because they have to like theory craft and then like they have to know the code well enough for it to be able to execute, and then they have to actually test it.
Yeah.
Like that's a long process, I'd imagine.
Actually, the Mario 64 task community, someone there recently came up with a fucking really, really dumb task that I totally respect, because it's exactly the kind of dumb thing I would do. If you execute like a series of really complicated glitches and you death cancel like 12 stars in a row, then you can get the lobby music in Big Boo's Haunt.
What is the point of this?
To get the lobby music in Big Boo's Haunt.
I think discoveries like that are still inherently useful on their own because they can lead to...
It's just funny to have like music that's not supposed to play in the wrong level.
That is funny. I'm pretty sure those discoveries, though, don't they contribute to, like, advances in the direct A-button challenge?
Yeah.
That's why, like, that's why, like, things that aren't related, even, like, the real world are useful. Like, you know about, how the study of Gila monsters led to, like, GLP-1s?
Mm-hmm.
So like, if some random dude didn't like obsessively want to study Gila monsters in like the Arizona desert, we wouldn't have fucking these weight loss drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's like an additional like things like, okay, this is beneficial, not inherently on its own, but because it can lead to other things that are more directly beneficial.
Yeah.
That's why knowledge is great. School starts in like another week.
Wow, kids have school?
I have school.
Poggers.
Yep. I got Har's old laptop to use for classes because mine won't last for like longer than an hour with the power plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do gotta go and install. Fuck, I should actually look up which one. I need to install one of the JDKs on there for one of my classes.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're using for the other one. I have to look at the syllabus to check that. Because for the intro to programming, they're like, oh, we're gonna be using Java. I was like, alright, cool. So I gotta go find whatever JDK they want to use. I looked over the course syllabus, and it's like, okay, I already know all of this stuff, and it's in the language I use pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
So I expect that one to be fairly easy for me. Same thing with the other one I'm taking, which is like intermediate programming, which is like object-oriented shit. I read it, I was like, okay, I already know all these concepts. Do I practice all of them? Not necessarily, but I at least am aware of enough of them to implement.
Yeah, back when I finished school, ChatGPT was not yet a thing, so people could not just use AI to cheat. Instead, they used Chegg to cheat. And then after ChatGPT and the other AIs came out, the Chegg stock price fell by 99%.
Shocker. I think they have like I think I read like a thing in there. It's like all the code you submit must be your own code.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're gonna verify this, but although I have noticed that LLMs write in a really specific way, if that makes sense.
You're right to push back on that. That's an excellent point.
I meant more was like the code they produce.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the single biggest sign of LLM is the M dash. They fucking love M dashes.
How they do. For code, I noticed that one of their favorite things to do is they fucking do new line brackets.
Mm-hmm.
They love new line brackets, but I am not a new line bracketer. I will write the bracket on the same line as the function. I think the other thing they also like doing is, specifically with Java code I've noticed, if they're calling another function in the same class from like the same object, they'll just call the function. But I obsessively write this and then call the function name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I do that, it just kind of makes sense so I know where it's being called to. And obviously the only other time I don't call this and then the function name is when I call like a static function. Because duh. So like those are hallmarks of like the way I rate it. When you average the entire, and I'm sure there'll be some patterns. Oh yeah, 100%. A lot of stuff gets pulled out of GitHub, which a lot of professional companies use.
You know, nobody can accuse you of being AI if you hide slurs on your function names.
Why did you name this Boolean retard? Because it was funny. I'm an avid this user. Finally, somebody else that uses this. I'm a new line bracketer and I use this for internal names. Do I need to? No. Because it's going to just resolve to the same object anyways. But I don't care. It gives me clarification. I will say, I've used it for paradox modding before for the map games, and it is awful for that. You know why? We're like, oh yeah, how do I do this particular kind of thing here? Because I can't find like wherever this file is located that it's exposed to. And it's like, oh yeah, this actually isn't exposed into the files, it's hard-coded into the engine. I was like, cool, thanks. And then I was trying to think of ways to get around it, and then it'll like suggest that I do something that is not modifiable and it's hard-coded. I was like, bro, you just told me to do that. Or it'll suggest I do something. And say, hey, that doesn't actually work for XYZ. It's like, you're right, because it's hard-coded. I was like, then why did you tell me to do this?
Yeah, the video I sent in Discord like a little while ago. I don't know if that's actually like real or edited, but I know that it is like a real thing in Airbus aircraft where if the plane wants you to slow it down, it'll say retard, because retard means like slow down in French.
I think it means like to delay, which is why like the C sign for like brake retarders, which I guess delays the brakes, I think.
Yeah.
Or fire retardant is another common example. It just delays the fire catching on.
And fire retardant is when you're too retarded to fight a fire.
Source. I've had to fight fires. No, it's just, I think it's like, it doesn't like stop you from catching on fire, it just like delays it, which makes sense given the context of the word.
Yeah.
That's why, oh my god. Okay, saying it'll resolve with the same machine code allows you to write everything in one line and give that excuse. The only time I don't do one-liners is if it's like too cumbersome to read. An example, if I have more than like 2 conditions, I refuse to use the ternary operator. Because then it's like very hard to fucking read. I found at least one instance in Minecraft's code where Notch had like 4 layered ternaries. I'm just like, dude, why? It's impossible to fucking read those. I'm trying to think of like other like hallmarks of the way I write shit. I always do I++. I don't do ++I. Let's see. Yeah, Minecraft uses ++I a lot in its source. I think it uses both, but I think I see ++I more commonly. I always mix up like what each variant does. Because I know it's just a different way of incrementing. I think it has to do with like how it stores the variable. I don't quite remember. I think Splax died.
F.
Oh. Fig. F-I-G. Fig. Do you remember the difference between I++ and ++I?
Are those not the same thing?
I don't think they are, but I do not remember the difference. I think they functionally end up doing the same thing anyways. Hang on. Let's see, let me Google this. No, thank you. I++ versus ++I is already a common Google search. Alright, ++I increments the variable first and then returns the new value, while I++ returns the original value and then increments the variable. I++ will add and then assign, and then ++I will assign and then add. It's just that they do the same thing in the end, but the difference is like the order. The difference is highly visible when assigning the result to another variable. So like in A equals plus plus I becomes 6, then 6. Result I is 6 and A is 6. But if you do, say J equals 5, then B is equal to J plus plus, 5 is assigned to B and then it's incremented. So then J is 6, but B is 5. Okay, I just have never done that, so I've never encountered that. If you do something like stupid function I plus plus, I don't think I've ever done that, because usually if I'm going to increment a variable, I'll increment it before doing the call, and then just pass like I as the arg. That's probably why I've never needed to have that as like a difference. Is this something I would ever rely upon? Yeah, that just seems like it's asking for confusion. That's why all my loops have I++.
If I++ is so good, why didn't they make I+++?
It adds +3. There's been times though where I've had to like, where one of my favorite things to do that's stupid is if I'm testing something and I need like a specific value to print, but only like one of the specific like instances, like the first time it executes. Immediately after that, I will fucking write if true, throw in a runtime exception just so I can crash the program immediately. Otherwise, I have to sort through a lot more logs. It's like I'd rather just crash the program immediately. So I use that sometimes if I need to crash it. I think there's only a couple instances in my entire game's codebase where I have while true, which I try to never do. However, I was like, I can't think of any other way to do this other than while true. So I ended up doing while true. In loops, it doesn't matter because it always checks the condition before doing the increment. Yeah, that makes sense. So whether or not you do plus plus I or I plus plus on like a loop, it won't matter because it'll still resolve correctly when it's supposed to be false and then break out of the loop. You know something stupid you could do in Java? You could class cast null.
Oh my god.
For whatever fucking reason. Because I found instances of that in Minecraft's code where like null is class casted. Actually, I had to do that for the audio setup in the game. Because there's a byte buffer that's needed for something, but like it doesn't have to actually exist. But it still needs to be a byte buffer, so I just made a null byte buffer by casting it. It does remind me though, I don't have any code set up for if you unplug the fucking audio device and have a new one. I should probably do that. But I don't know how to hook. I probably have to hook into like the operating system's like a setup.
You ever think about how in Harry Potter, Harry's mom was able to save her son with the power of love, and every other mom who couldn't save their child just had a skill issue for not loving their child hard enough?
I've seen that before. It's quite funny.
Just love your child even harder and they'll be saved.
Hey, did you know that Minecraft prior to beta 1.8 is technically rectangular and not a perfect square?
How is it rectangular?
So, you know how the world boundary works? or rather,
Okay.
you know the world. You remember the world boundary being 32 million?
Yeah.
It is 1 block smaller on the positive x coordinate.
Seriously?
Yes, I noticed this when I was looking at it. I found when the code was implemented in ImpDev 315, I think, or 313, because this would not put in the world boundary. But the various conditions that or functions that control where the world boundary is, which for the most part it like returns that it's air if it's outside of there, or like for like setting a block, it just will not let you set blocks outside of those boundaries. Anyways, the point is that I noticed that the condition, what it does is it checks if the x and the z are within the boundaries of negative 32 million and 32 million, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like it's like less than or equal to and greater than or equal to.
Mm-hmm.
However, the positive x bounds check is just less than 32 million, not less than or equal. So it is technically a block shorter. Because I noticed
You are technically correct, which is the best kind of correct.
I know. I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's actually not 64 million blocks across. It's 63,999,999. But only on that axis. I was like, this technically makes the world a rectangle. Yeah, a rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
Or wasn't it already a rectangle? It's not square is what it is. Every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is square.
I like how the Earth is technically not a perfect sphere, even though we can treat it as spherical for most practical purposes because it's close enough.
It's an oblate spheroid.
It's off by like 10 or 15 miles, which on a scale of like 10,000 miles is basically nothing.
Yeah. I think that's funny though, because I noticed it and I pointed out to Ant, I was like, hey, did you know the world's actually not a square? I was looking for something different and I like found that. I also discovered why the stutter zones happened in Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you how I figured that one out?
How did you figure that one out?
One, it wasn't fun. And Zin was partially helpful, though I didn't realize at the time because I found it separately from what he suggested. Anyways, oh fuck. I need to get to shore. So there is a function that runs in the world to update the entities, and that's like part of that is updating the entity's position. And that function will not run if the entity is not in not in a loaded chunk, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so part of what this does is that it checks if the chunk exists by passing the chunk coordinates of the entity to it. And that ends up going to the chunk provider. And what the chunk provider does is it pulls from an array of chunks, and it calculates the indices, or it calculates the index for it by hashing the x and z coordinates. And those x and z coordinates are ANDed, or bitwise ANDed by 31. So they loop. The thing is, though, a bunch of those, if you're like at the boundary, it will resolve back to 0, 0 in terms of like the chunk coordinates. So what ends up happening is that the chunk at index 0 isn't necessarily the chunk that you're in, and so it calls and asks, hey, is this chunk at the same position that they're saying it's at? And the chunk will go, no, I'm not. And it returns false, and then it returns false for that. So then the thing goes, oh, you're not in a chunk that exists, so it doesn't let you move. And that's why you can sometimes move.
Nice.
What fixes that, though, is that there's other functions that grab that chunk for something, and it stores it in the same index, at index 0 in the array. And then sometimes when you go to move, it'll actually let you because it's pulling from that chunk. So that's why you can sometimes move, sometimes can't. Because I noticed that it was like, there was like a gap of like 8 ticks between some of the movements. I was like, huh. It's weird because like the code wouldn't even execute. I was like, okay, well, why would it not execute? I'll follow the stack trace back and figure that out. It seems like it got Band-Aid fixed over time. Because the chunk provider doesn't actually change up until like beta 1.6 when it gets the hash map. Which the hash map is also what causes the spawn chunk bug.
Wow, Minecraft making band-aid fixes over time. Never would have guessed.
Yeah, wow, shocker. The spawn chunk bug is interesting because of the way it works. But yeah, that was my discovery. I still don't know why it band-aid fixes over it, but the other thing is I don't really know how to fix it. That's the other problem. The only other thing I can think to do is to backport the fucking chunk provider. Which I guess might transfer the spawn chunk bug when I think about it. I don't know. Notch did something. He must have changed the chunk provider in like if diff 624. Oh wow, look at that forest. Those mountains. I like snow biomes. They're pretty cool. .27%. Yippee. Yeah, I can't really think of any good blocks I could use for like, because I was gonna make a statue of my skin in the spawn chunks, but I can't really think of any good blocks for like my face color. I mean, it's only like 2 fucking blocks, but like I can't think of anything that matches that color in the game. Because white wool wouldn't work, because that's too white, because my skin is not like ghost. I can use wool colors for like literally everything else. The penguin suit, and then the mask, and then the fucking like various penguin suit colors. But like I don't know what to do for the skin. Exposed skin. I guess sand might work. Actually, I think sand might be the closest color. Yeah, it might have to be sand. I have to see what will look better, the blue wool or like lapis lazuli blocks. Is clay in the game? Yes, clay is in the game. Ooh, you know what? I could go to the Nether at some point and grab grab some netherrack, and I can use that for a fireplace, just to make sure it's safe so I don't burn the house down. Everybody's done that at least once. I know you have Swax.
Yeah.
It's like a core Minecraft experience. Burn down your house. I could use bricks though. I got thinking that because Vin mentioned clay, and I was like, oh yeah, bricks. I was like, oh, I can make a chimney. part of my skin that would be difficult to do. I guess the only thing that I can't really do that well is like do the blending of the shading. For like where the yellow turns to white on the front of the chest. Or like how a lot of the pixels on the arm are like grays instead of it being like completely black. I could probably do some, but it's not. I'm not gonna be able to do all. But doing completely black might just be easier than trying to mix in the grays. Especially because light gray is a little too light. Also, I've still found no golden apple. One day I will locate one. One day. You know what? You know, since we were talking about this earlier, you know what else is an impressive like game they stuck into as much data as it was? Is Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because of how like very limited the Game Boy was. Like the fact that they actually managed to do that is pretty incredible. Dang. Actually, this is going to be the 30-year anniversary of Mario 64 coming out. Because it was like Christmas of '96, wasn't it? A very long time ago. message from probably from Kevin. What kind of formation is this? Looks really weird. Oh, hey, do you remember those? Remember the times we got the random monoliths?
Yo, monoliths.
Yeah, remember the chunk error?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember that one meme of the Utah monolith being teleported in?
Mm-hmm.
There's also that one fucking meme of me fucking going at a 45-degree angle for the universe.
Yeah.
Fig wants to reach the far lands. How will he do it? With just a fucking 45-degree angle. Oh, I'm stupid. I already had boats. Oh well. You know the only thing that I wish Beta Minecraft had that it doesn't?
Yeah.
The 256 height limit.
Hmm.
Like, it does suck not being able to build things past 128.
Mm-hmm.
Because, personally, I think this is the best terrain generation ever. And I will fight everybody on this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think genuinely a good feature that Twitter has implemented in the past couple of years is like the translation. Like it's nice coming across like a foreign language tweet and being able to actually understand what's going on there. Even if the grammar doesn't exactly get translated properly into English grammar, I can still fucking correct it internally in my head. Yeah, it's like the only good feature. Well, actually, no. I think Community Notes is also a good feature. Which I think some of my favorite fucking things is like Community Notes just bodying like random tweets. Does it just implement a Google Translate API or something? Honestly, I don't know. They probably use their own API for the translation. They probably don't outsource it to Google because that wouldn't really make sense, I think. I do, of course, enjoy whenever Community Notes bodies a fucking tweet. It's always incredibly funny, especially if they're like a one-liner, like it's a one-line correction. Another 10,000 blocks until 550. Come on, boat.
Ever think about how Rob outlasted Minecraft and he's still out there doing whatever the hell he does now?
Yeah, despite the cocaine
Yeah.
and what, stealing a cat.
I don't think anyone really cares what he's doing now, but he's doing something.
Rob's completely irrelevant at this point. Oh, man. Well, unfortunately, Goo had to go and get 10 counts of CSAM. Whenever this kind of shit happens, whether it's like that or like, you know, like domestic violence allegations, I'm just like, you know, I'm not even surprised anymore. Ford found the kitchen at this point.
I don't know, internet content creators, it seems like it's very hard to avoid being a pedophile.
How is it him that it lasted this long?
I don't know, maybe he needs to tell us his secrets.
Yeah, what skeletons are in his closet?
Maybe you should ask Venom how he does it, maybe we can learn from him.
You're gonna learn the secrets of the trade? I'm not quite sure. I think it's one of those situations where, because I was talking with my sister, where like, there are a lot of people out there that are like that you don't realize because they 9 times out of 10 don't have the ability to do it. If that makes sense. It's like, I would like to think I'd still be a good person with $10 billion in my account, but I don't know that because I have never had that, and I never will.
We were talking about Good, who was the former head of Mindcrack, which I don't know.
Oh yeah,
about
the Terraria one's interesting.
But yeah, Terraria I think is different because as far as I could tell, they weren't like actually producing or consuming child porn. They were just knowingly engaging in sexual roleplay with minors, which that's still pretty fucked up, but it's not the same level of fucked up.
As soon as you learn that that's like the case, you're like, all right, I'm out of here, bye.
Mm-hmm.
And then never engage with that person ever again. Or you verify like, you know, the age of somebody before engaging in that kind of shit. Yeah, I just like saw on Twitter that the Terraria Calamity mod imploded. I was like, oh, what happened? I was like, oh, alright, again.
I have kind of a love-hate relationship with the Calamity mod because it's an excellent mod, it's very fantastic, but also the developers have like a very specific vision of how they want the game to be played, and they have a nasty habit of playing fun police if they think something has gotten like too powerful.
I'm gonna play that mod again, but they're letting me just strip it of all the music. Yeah. I don't know, I'm not a big Terraria guy, so it's not like impactful for me, but I get it for everybody else that is big into Terraria. Floodwash? I might have Floodwash. Is it gonna fucking rain here tonight? yeah, I want to see where this flood watch is coming from. Aerial flood watch. Great. To Monday. What the fuck? Oh, it's from Sunday. Alright, we're probably gonna get fucking rain dumped on us. Figures. Alright. Flood watch, flood watch, flood watch. Alright, we're good. That's quite nice. No, I found a great reaction image. It's Blacks.
Yo,
Would you care for a good reaction image?
pause champ.
Did you say pause champ?
Yeah.
Here's your reaction image.
Hell yeah, I'm saving this.
Fucking using that one again. That did remind me of how Nintendo had to make a specific translation for Mario Party 8 in the UK because Kamek fucking says the word spaz, which is considered a very bad word in British English.
Oh yeah.
There's a dungeon over here. Alright. Where... Oh, God.
I just dug this out of my memes folder. Are you excited to see the new ballroom at the White House?
Oh, no, is it the ball pit?
Yeah, it's the ball pit.
It's a big ball pit. The final boss.
God, I forgot I had this saved. Fucking quotes from actual performance evaluations. Since my last report, this employee has reached rock bottom and shows signs of starting to dig. His men would follow him anywhere, but only out of morbid curiosity. I would not allow this employee to breed. This associate is really not so much of a has-been, but more of a definitely won't be. He would be out of his depth in a parking lot puddle. This young lady has delusions of adequacy. This employee should go far, and the sooner the better. This employee is depriving a village somewhere of an idiot. He sets low personal standards and then consistently fails to achieve them.
I fucking love that. Delusions of adequacy. That's me in a nutshell.
Next time you want to insult someone, say they have delusions of adequacy.
That's like even worse than saying delusions of grandeur. Oh god, that is hilarious. It's almost the 2-hour mark.
This walking guy should go far, and the sooner the better.
I mean, I am going far. I can't wait till Kurt J. Mac eventually reaches the fucking edge of the Quarter Farlands. What's he gonna do when he reaches the Quarter Farlands?
Go to the other corner?
You think Kurt's gonna circumnavigate the Farlands?
Why not?
I can see him doing it. It's currently what, Farlands and Beyond?
Yeah. He rebranded.
I hope he enjoys double jitter offset.
Yeah. He never got a chance to bust, so now he's changing course.
I thought it would have been funny if he just kept going through the Farlands, like Mystical Ninja did. Speaking of, one of the, this is one Farlander that is currently on top of the Edge Farlands trying to go to the edge of the world. Minecraft the cave game. Minecraft. Dear Judd. This is a bucket. The last block. It's a good name.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. I'm walking to the Farlands in Minecraft, but what is Minecraft? To answer that, we need to turn the sun into a black hole.
And then Michael will go on a 20-minute tangent about integers.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand integer overflow to understand the Farlands. Requires understanding the Big Bang. Yeah. Yeah, I realized you could probably, like, if you make, like, a Minecraft-like game, you could probably program in, like, a fucking ice wall of the game. By making the terrain height increase, like, by more and more drastic amounts the further out from 0, 0, 0 you go. And then making it just, like, ice at the top. You could make the big ice wall. The flat earthers were correct. Alright, this will be the last day when I shall end stream. We are back up the road. Give it like a few weeks, we'll reach 1,048,000. Which I believe that'll put us at about 8%. Because I think each spawn took us about 4%. Give or take. So we won't be at 10% yet. And that's A-okay. Dude, the EU5 subreddit is hilarious. Have you played EU5 at all?
I played it for a little bit. I haven't played it that much yet.
No, so you're waiting for it to get better.
Honestly, I played it for a couple hours on release day, then I was just too overwhelmed by all of the changes and all of the interface, and then I never got around to trying it again.
Yeah, I got through my interface confusion lasted for like an hour, and then I got used to it. It helps that I already played a bunch of map games, so it's like I can easily get into it.
Yeah.
But you know about the whole local governor system they implemented to the game?
Yeah.
Someone posted, why did the Roman Empire split in two instead of just placing a local governor in Constantinople? Were they stupid?
Are they stupid?
You couldn't place a naval governor in Constantinople because of the direct lane connection. And they didn't have a road from Ravenna to Constantinople. Wait, you were right, and they couldn't build a road because roads are H1 tech, which hadn't started at that point. Honestly, not having access to roads was Rome's biggest weakness. If only they knew that all roads
Someone
were
made a
Rome.
someone made a fucking amazing post at EU4 a couple weeks ago. They're asking a question about some kind of modifier about Judaism, but they titled their post "Question about Jews."
Oh no. Oh no. I love Paradox subreddits out of context. The Crusader King subreddit is always awful for that reason.
Posted 4 years ago. How do you become Jewish?
I'm sure that thread was hilarious. I remember I'm the one who got you into EU4 because I found it. And I realized that it was just Civ, but like better.
Yeah.
I still
So often I try to go back to Civ out of nostalgia, and then I realize there's the 1 unit per tile limitation, and then I get sad.
Yeah, I get sad. Hey, what's up, Burbian? I will eventually catch you. Probably not. I think you're gonna be past the spawn chunks by the time I get to the second spawn chunks, and then I gotta stop to build another tower. You're like 900k? Or like 960? Yeah, because the second spawn chunk's at 1,048,000. I'm definitely not going to make it there before you make it there. Plus, it's going to take me longer to complete that because school will be starting soon. No biggie. You're always going to be just ahead of me. My school starts on the 18th. Okay, I start on the 24th. See, what I'll do is I'll use my month-long winter break and just, like, do as much farming as possible. Actually, hypothetically, if for 30 days I stream 16 hours a day, I'm not going to, but like, what's the max fucking distance that would give me? I can do about 100,000 per day. What, times 30? Yeah, I can do about 3 million in a month. Month long is crazy. I mean, that's how long the fucking gap is between the fall and spring semesters. I'm not going to do that, but I mean, I could certainly go fucking. I could definitely get a pretty good amount of distance in on the break. Hours a day is like 250,000 a day max. Not in my experience. I could do about 100,000 diagonally in a day, which is about 140,000 in a straight line. I don't know where in the fresh fuck you're getting 250,000 from. Because you go about 13,000 blocks an hour. And you have to stop at some point. Like to eat or to shower. Real gamers don't do this stuff. Yeah, real gamers sit their own filth. I'm excited for you to pass 1 million though. Congratulations. You're gonna exceed it's gonna get a lot worse. I still think out of any Farlands walk, the middle part of it is the worst. You remember the middle part of my walk? That was awful. That was awful as well. I did not enjoy that part of the walk. You got any strats for gearing for Warborder? I think I fished for all of my gear, if I remember correctly. Made full diamond gear with like the max enchants, and then I just fucking started running. I think it took me like a week or so of just playing the game every day to get all the gear. Are you intending to do a Warborder run? No, fishing for the enchants. Because I didn't want to make an XP grinder, so I would just fish for XP. And then enchant off an enchanting table setup. Yeah. Splack, so far there's like no other people that have completed a Warborder journey.
You have like a spreadsheet to track everyone who's gone to the world border.
Yeah, one of the Farlanders developed a database for storing everything. I can link it to you if you want.
Nice, a Farlands database.
Yep, hang on, let me grab farlands.cc. There you are. It's pretty useful. I'm planning on attempting one. The world I had been using originally, I accidentally used free cam treason. It's treason then. I take it you're gonna finish your Farlands walk before you try the world border? Or unless you're gonna try and do like 3 journeys at once. What about both at the same time? I mean, that's true. You know what you could do, actually? You could...
Run for it. Use the fucking speedrun mod that lets you run multiple instances of Minecraft and just walk to the Farlands on all of them.
No, it wasn't that. I was gonna suggest that what he should do is he should set it up so he arrives to both at the same day. Because like if he gets to the Farlands, if he gets close to the Farlands before the war border, he just stops walking, and then he goes on the war border until he gets close enough that he could do it both in one day. You have the opportunity to do that, and I think it'd be incredibly funny. I've never thought of that. Yeah, true at the same time. I think it'd be funny. The other thing that you could also do... Or no, it's not that. Splax, there's 2 people that use the nether roof to travel to the overworld Farlands on a server. So one day I want to see this happen, but I want to see 2 people overworld travel to the Farlands.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll happen eventually. Time the mod I made finally gets some use. Which mod?
Open up! This is the Swirlies!
Oh, thank you for the raid, Dan. Let's see. Looks like the university just fucking emailed me. Great. Anyways, what mod did you make? Alright, let me make sure this isn't like a terribly fucking important email. Open up Outlook. Recent Canvas notifications. Let's see. Some veteran stuff. Sunday, August 23rd. Yeah, that's like the day before classes start. Oh, it's some shit from Canvas. Oh, Ray, you made some tweaks to the coordinate hub thing for the data pack.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Yeah, but I made it into a mod because from what I've tried, data packs only handle integers. Oh, really? I feel like they should be able to handle floats. Whatever, I'm not a data pack person. Oh yeah, Splax, I think the next person that's going to be arriving is the guy that just raided. He is at 83% last I checked. He's probably at 84 right now.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Bro's past fucking 10 million. Ekwall is also at like 11.7 million on both axes. But it's Ekwall, so he's going incredibly slow. He also doesn't like publicly advertise almost anything.
Imagine not chilling yourself in every Discord you're in.
I liked Ekwall because he just posted it one day. He was like, yeah, I made it to Farlands, bye. 83.5%. Nice. Are you
If I ever walk to the
exhausted?
Far Lands, I'm just gonna stream the whole thing to nobody and then post when I'm done.
Precisely. I don't know, Dan, are you exhausted from walking by now? Like mentally exhausted? Shit gets rough. Nope. Yeah. Some people are just built different. I think, is it 4194 at like about a third of the way there? Yeah, just about. Oh god, someone made a fucking map mod for EU5 that puts it on a glow projection. I think splitting up helps with that. 2 lots of 3-hour sessions in a day is much better than nearly 6 hours straight. I do agree with that. Like, I'll sometimes do 2 sessions a day. And if I do like a second session, it's usually just like me not streaming, just kind of like watching YouTube videos off to the side while I casually walk. If I don't feel like doing anything else. That's probably why I got mentally exhausted, is because I would do like 6 hours after work, and then like on the weekends I would do it for like 16 fucking hours. Though I was trying to be the first person to the corner, which is I think why I did it like that anyways. Which worked, but at what cost? Hey, you know what? As long as you're not doing what Lupo did. If you weren't aware, Splax, a French streamer named Lupo, who already walked to the Farlands, walked to the Farlands again. Except he started in like mid to late June and finished at the end of July. Did it in like 40 fucking days. Which is one of the dumbest things I've ever fucking seen personally.
You ever just walk to the Farlands and decide we can make a religion out of this?
I mean, that's honestly, that's kind of what that fucking Discord server is. It's like a cult. Which I'm here for. I like the cult. As a founding member of the cult. Though I didn't mean for it to be end up being a verification group for Farlands Journeys. I meant for it to be an archiving project. But then the scope expanded. Yeah, I gotta say the amount of people that have gone to the Farlands is still relatively low. It's like a total of 18 people in like 6 years. Like that's an average of like what, 3 people per year? Out of like the millions of people that play Minecraft. It's a very low number.
So you're saying there's a steady trickle of new Farlanders?
It's like super infrequent because like again only like 3 people make it in a year on average. Still higher than the amount of people that have beaten Tetris. Yep. I update my journey on the database every 500k, so I'm able to submit again tomorrow when I hit 500 million or 10.5 million, 500 million. Jesus fucking Christ! I don't update mine. I'm assuming that other people are updating mine for me. There's a reason though I obsessively archive everything. Has it been about 3 per year? Okay, so Killer made it in 2020. Ekwall and myself made it in 2021, and I think Kabrani made it the same year? Fuck, I don't remember when Mystical actually reached it. It was either 21 or 22. I think it was 21 actually. Yeah, because he had already reached the Farlands by the time Ant Venom made the video about me reaching the World Border. And I reached the World Border at the beginning of 2022. So I think Mystical, me, Ekwall, and Cabrani all reached it in the same year. So that was about 4 per year. And then it slowed down for a bit because we didn't get anybody else making it for a while. And I'm sure there's people we've missed that are like very hidden about it, either because they're small channels or they're not English channels, so it's kind of hard to find in different scripts. Because there's one guy who made it who's Korean, I think. The difficulties in archiving or in locating these kinds of people. Speaking of streams, yeah, Ender Shower. Yeah, I'm thinking of Ender Shower. Speaking of streams, though, I believe it's time to end mine because it has been about 2.5 hours, and I should go work on my game. This bed is occupied, and by that I mean unfuck a bunch of textures. As much as I want to reach 550,000, that can wait till tomorrow. Actually, I will take a screenshot. And in a Petersonian sense. Let's see, is there anybody in the Farlands Discord that is currently streaming that I can go right into? Let's see, incoming arrivals. Oh, there's Dan's. Give that a fire reaction. I don't think anybody. I don't see anybody in the sidebar. No. Well, I can check Twitch, although I doubt it. Alright, either way, we're just gonna end it. Later, my dudes.
F.
Hi. You're supposed to finish it. Alright, bye.